Yes.
Hey, what do you mean by a self paced course?
Well, the course material is available in the form of video lectures. And there are multiple practice problems that come along as well. So, you can access all of it anywhere, anytime. And they are available to you for lifetime.
No way!
Oh, yes, way. Don't delay and enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Geeks for Geeks. My name is Muskan Agarwal, and before I introduce our guest, please let me know in the comment section if I'm perfectly audible and visible to all of you. Cool. So I'll quickly tell what this webinar is about. So we have Anurag with us, and he is going to share his tips about how to build a impactful LinkedIn profile so that you can get some great opportunities from there. So let's start with having a brief introduction about Anurag.
All right. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Hi. How are you all doing? Okay, let me just exit the comment section because that is going to create disturbance. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. You have my blessings. And I hope, this session is going to be fruitful for you. And I give you a hearty welcome to the same. This session is primarily around LinkedIn, and I believe that all of you must be aware what's LinkedIn. And I'll primarily talk about optimizing your profile in order to build a great profile to get you jobs, get your personal brand kicking, and ultimately becoming a LinkedIn star. So, are you guys ready for it?
I can already see a lot of people in the live, so they are excited clearly.
All right. So I'm actually closing that comment section at this point of time because that might create some disturbance. So you
Definitely.
can keep an eye. I will just present, my screen so that I can share uh, the presentation which I have built for my audience. Is it visible to everyone?
Yes, I guess they are saying it's visible.
Super, super. So, like I mentioned, I'm assuming that all of you who have joined here are aware what LinkedIn is. So the agenda of this particular session is very simple. What is LinkedIn? Why it is important? How to build a strong profile? How to build a strong network? And some tips, tricks, and hacks. This session is primarily centered around how to build a strong profile. If the time permits, I will get on these sections, how to build a strong network and tips and tricks. But primarily, this is focused on strong profile. If required, we can get into another sessions to talk about this. But primarily, let's just understand what and why LinkedIn is important and how can we build a strong profile. I hope the agenda for this session is clear. All right. Before we get into specifics of building a strong profile, I'm sure that you're aware the social media world is going to stay. Post pandemic, the adoption of digital is on its high, all time high, because everything is going digital. This epidemic, this pandemic, this chaos which got created where offline world just got stopped and online took a high has made a digital ecosystem connected in such a way that we are digitally available and associatable to each other. And that is how I feel that if you are not on LinkedIn or if you are not on any of the social media platforms, then maybe you are missing that wave of digital. So let me just start by starting a video. uh, just a sec. Yeah. Let's just watch this video. It's a video by Equal Man. I adore his work. And let's just understand why it is important to, you know, get on LinkedIn. I can talk about other websites also, and it is important to be there as well. But primarily on LinkedIn, definitely for professionals and students and job seekers, why it is important. But before that, let's understand what is the importance here through this video. All right. Now I believe that you are well aware why the social media is important, how it's growing, how it's evolving, and to what extent it's gonna affect us, and how are we going to get emerged into this digital world. Okay. Now, if we have to stay in this digital world, then there are specific areas we have to work upon. And one prime area where I see we all should work upon is upgrading and optimizing your LinkedIn profile. And why is LinkedIn important? Because if you go through these stats give you the figure where if you are not in this particular number, then you are not actually digitally connected. You're not leveraging that digital ecosystem the world is currently creating. And these stats are astounding. Almost, you know, I would say that everybody who is working on their professional front are on LinkedIn. So you have to join the bandwagon to stay abreast with the latest happenings in the market. These numbers are sufficient to reinforce the importance of LinkedIn in this current digital age. 70% of the hiring professionals are using social media for their searches. And of that group, 94% are using LinkedIn. So I'm not going specifics on these numbers are just to show the importance. Okay, before we get into the importance of LinkedIn, I want to start a video primarily just to give you a glimpse that why LinkedIn primarily is used for by job searching professionals, by professionals who are in C-suite designations, professionals who are not exactly professionals, who they are students. But why this network is important, let's just understand it from a video by LinkedIn only. And then we'll get into the specifics of building that profile.
If you're watching this, chances are good you want to get a job. You want to go from student to rising star, and you want to avoid eating the same meal over and over and over again. Good news, you're in the right place. That's right, LinkedIn. It's not just for top executives. It's not just for old people with heavy briefcases. It's for you, and it's the perfect place for you to start your professional story. Say you want to get a job in New York City. You've never been there before, but that's okay because you have LinkedIn on your side. You start by creating your profile. You give it love because you know it's what recruiters are looking for day and night. It's your resume that never sleeps. It's your flashing neon sign that says, hire me, for the love of all that is good in this world, hire me. Then you start making connections. Alumni working in New York? Yes. Recruiters at top companies in New York? Yes. Your mom's best friend? Yes. You start imagining whose shoes you want to walk in. You think, wow, this is a lot of deep stuff to consider. You shake yourself out of it and start searching for jobs. Whoa, that's a lot of jobs for students. Time to get down to business. You start to tailor your profile. You start applying. You feel empowered, in control, like you should be CEO. That gives you an idea. You look up all the CEOs of all the companies you want to work at. You see one of them went to your university. Then it hits you. You see a clear path from campus to career. You feel like you can see the future. You wonder if you're psychic. Should you start a hotline? No, back to plan A. You keep tailoring and connecting and applying, and before you know it, you start getting responses. First a few, then more, then an interview, and then you're hired. And that's when the real learning begins.
All right. Let's get started. Now, I think you are well aware of the importance of LinkedIn and why you have to use it. This session primarily talks about building your profile. So the first section is about building an effective profile. So let's get started to the specifics. Are you aware that you are 11 times more likely to have your profile viewed if there is a photograph? LinkedIn profiles without photographs are ignored badly, not just by human, but also by the algorithms which LinkedIn has created. An inactive profile is kept more inactive as per the algorithms. If you're not creating content, if you are not staying active on LinkedIn, your profile will go in the backlogs of that LinkedIn and you might not be shown and your visibility will go down. So there are some things on which we have to work upon to build an effective profile. I have listed down around 20 items on which we have to work. I'll use my LinkedIn profile to give you the exact call to action, what specific action you need to take. And with that, I'll try to give you a personal answers to some of the questions which you might have, that why you have put this banner picture as PWC, any exact significance around it. So all these questions will get answered when I'll give you a walkthrough of my profile. Are you with me? Okay. So these are 20 items which I have created in order to work on the profile. But before we get into these, let's talk about the score of a LinkedIn profile, which can be improved if we take action on these 20 items. Now, what is the score of a LinkedIn profile? I'm sure you might be amazed that am I going to get ranked in the LinkedIn? Yes, you are right, because your ranking describes your visibility on LinkedIn. Your algos take a cue from that rank with which it highlights your post, and your post can have more age and last longer than somebody who was not having a good rank in LinkedIn. Now, how to identify how good your profile is doing on LinkedIn? So for that, we'll go to a website called Resume Worded. Resume Worded.
Yeah, I
I've
think
already created a.
tab is shared, so like the website is not visible right now.
It's not visible.
Yeah, like
Okay,
the PPT is visible.
I see. Okay. Mhm. Just a sec.
Cool.
Okay, I'm sharing the entire screen now. Okay.
Cool.
So are you with me till now?
Yeah, it's visible now.
All right. All right. So we are in. So how do you exactly know your profile score? So once you log in resumeworded.com, you go to third section of LinkedIn profile review. Okay. And the steps to understand your score are written over here. You go to profile, your LinkedIn profile, click on more and save to PDF, and then upload it, and the AI engine of this particular website will analyze it. So this is my profile. I'll go to more. I'll go to save to PDF. So this profile is downloaded. I'll simply drag this to here. Okay. All right. My website, this website is actually identifying my headline, summary, work experience, evaluating LinkedIn headline. Now the work is in action to give a score to my profile. All right. In 3, 2, 1, I should see my score. Okay. It's taking some more time. Okay. All right. So my score is 89. Overall score is 89. And this is a good score, I would say. Okay. A good score. So if you want to check your score, you can do it right now. Okay, you can simply go and check your score. This score will actually tell about these sections. This is a summation of these prime sections with which your score is calculated. When I started working on my profile, my score was below 60. Then after working on the recommendations from this particular tool, I let's check what I'm doing good, because it's 10 out of 10. It will give me the exact reasons why this particular score is 10 out of 10. There are, then what are, am I using the right set of keywords? I'll don't get confused. I'm just giving you the reason why this number 90 came to my score. I'll talk about these actions which you have to take, but let's just first understand how this distribution is done. Okay. So my summary can be improved. That's why this particular tool has given me 9, but uh, those things can be worked upon. So you can do it for your particular profile. You can check your score, and you will find recommendations to work upon. Okay. For example, in experience, so it says that this needs review. So they are giving recommendations. We recommend listing at least 3 roles of work experience on your LinkedIn profile. You have listed 4 jobs, which is great. Okay. So you will find recommendations, So it is actually going through my experience, which I have collated using this particular my LinkedIn profile. Some of the things might be the paid utilities, but without using the paid version, you can definitely improve your score. Okay. I have not taken the paid version. With their recommendations, the free recommendations, I have improved my score. And my LinkedIn profile is in the top 15% of the world. I'll give you a walkthrough of my LinkedIn profile now. We'll go back to this score, okay? And I'll tell you why I feel that my profile is in the top 15% and what are the benefits of having a profile of that rank. So, the prime reasons of being on LinkedIn is to, number one, to build your personal brand. Just like on Instagram, we have followers, just like on any other website, we want to be the kingpin of that social media platform. So, because with that, you get your followers, you get your content, you get likes and shares and content, comment on your content. So, that gives you validation that you are doing good. Your candidature gets improved in front of the recruiters when they find that your profile is a worthy profile which connects to people, where people think and assume that whatever you are doing in your current job is actually going to help them, because the set of uh, certifications, the set of licenses, whatever you have demonstrated here, it will add value to their organization if a person with such a good rank joins there. It's not a complete I won't say that completing your profile will become an insignia to get good jobs. That's not the claim which I'm making here. I'm just saying that the HR or the recruiter or the TA, whosoever comes to your profile and checks, will get a validation at the very first point after checking your profile. I'll give you a profile walkthrough with which you can get a sense who am I and what I do. So I am a digital transformation manager working at PwC India. My role revolves around RPA and AI, robotics process automation and artificial intelligence. And I work with a lot of stakeholders to build their automation roadmap, how exactly they can pull this digital ecosystem into their organization, how they can work on automating their mundane back office tasks where people are not utilizing their brain and intelligence. So that's my role. And this is where I have given a glimpse of my profile in the about section. I'll talk about these sections specifically. And this is the uh, featured section where wherever I have given conferences, I have been invited to forums, I have given a snippet of that particular session, or it could be a seminar whatsoever. This will live down my activity, so I try to stay active on LinkedIn. This is my experience which I have crafted in a way that all the right set of keywords becomes available here. Then I have worked with PwC, I have worked with Wipro, I have worked with HCL. So all that work which I have done is demonstrated here by choosing the right set of keywords. Okay. And if there's anything which you feel should be highlighted, for example, if I've got an award from PwC, I have pasted it here. So ultimately, you have to sell your profile. Why are you building your profile on LinkedIn? Just to sell it. Sell in a way where you want to build your personal brand, you want to get a good job, or you want to become a content creator on LinkedIn. For any of the reason, you have to highlight yourself, you have to sell yourself. And seeing is believing. Whatever you do here will actually elevate your profile, your personality, your personal brand, and everything. Okay. So you mentioned about education, you mentioned about the certification which you have done. I have done around 30 certifications all in all. So I have listed all of them here. Anything where I have done volunteering. I was the president of Toastmasters International. and I have listed down what I have done here. Yeah, I was the CC, I was the advanced leader bronze. So whatever I have done in Toastmaster, I have listed. So I was a faculty for Kanksha Foundation. I was a counselor. So whatever I have done, I have listed. This section is very important because you get endorsement by your colleagues, friends, family, whosoever you think that you are a master at project management, you are good at sales, you are marketing management, so the other person can endorse you. And this is done by simply going through your profile, and there are sections available where you can simply endorse with that particular role. Definitely work on recommendations. I have given recommendations, I have received recommendations. So this particular section, so I have given 7 recommendations to people. So this is one area which actually adds score to my entire profile. If your profile has recommendations, then definitely LinkedIn will rank you on the top 15. The goal is not to get into top 15. I would say the goal is definitely to become, to get the profile 100% scored. But there are some areas where I definitely need to work upon, but this is what I'm showing you to showcase that recommendations play a very, very important role. I was the co-author of a book called Path to Existence, so that I have mentioned here. So, and projects. So, whatever you have done, I'm sure you have done a lot of work, but if that's not on paper, because that is something very important. If you're not highlighting the same, then I would say it's of no use. You have to highlight. Okay. So whatever awards you have got, you have to mention, you have to highlight. So this is a small walkthrough of my profile. Now we will work on the areas. The how to build a strong profile on these 20 points, that how exactly you have to work on them, how you have to take an action. So Uh, I will cover all of these 20 points, okay, by my profile only. All of these points will get covered. So, till now, are you with me? Okay, I assume that you all are staying active and learning.
Uh, Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to say one thing. Like, we will take the questions from the comment section in the end if time permits.
Sure,
So, like they are saying that their questions are not answered. So we will definitely take your questions in the by
sure,
the end of the webinar.
absolutely. I
Okay.
will take questions. I'll try to complete this particular section, because with when I'll cover these section, I'm sure a lot of lot of your questions will get covered. Okay.
Definitely.
First, like I mentioned, fill out your profile thoroughly. I have showcased how I have written everything what I have done so far in my life, in my career. Okay. So that is the most important thing. Wherever you find you have done something remarkable, and if not something remarkable, anything and everything which you have done should be there, written in that profile. Please do so and fill out your profile thoroughly, complete it. Second point is make a custom profile URL. Okay. Custom profile URL. I'll show you what is meant by that. If you see my profile URL, it says Anurag Upadhyay / automation manager. If you see a general LinkedIn profile URL, you will find a certain number written over here. I'm not saying that is a big problem area, but if LinkedIn is giving you a flexibility to change this URL, it will help to put your profile on the top of the Google searches. Automation manager is basically a combination of two set of keywords, automation and manager. I brand myself as a digital transformation manager. So automation manager has certain weightage. This keyword has certain weightage. So somebody, if doing a Google search, my profile will come on the top of his or her searches. So you can optimize this particular URL in your favor by putting right set of keywords right here. I hope this part is clear. And how you do it, you go to uh, add profile section. Uh, no, 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 no. You go to wait. No, wait. Yeah, here it is. Edit public and profile. So I've clicked here, edit public profile and URL. All right, I'll come to that particular section once this link is up. Let's move to the second section. Pick the right profile photo. Now, like I mentioned earlier, you get 11 times more views if you are accompanying with a photo in your profile. Now, put a right set of picture. First of all, a picture is very important. That's number one. And number two, a professional picture on LinkedIn. With a background which gives your personal photo a highlight. There, if your background is not white and it's not in light color, the highlight of your picture will not come up beautifully. So give a light background to your picture, put right set of clothes. I mean, I'm not exactly saying that put a tie and a suit. Not exactly required. It depends on the kind of jobs you are doing. If you are, working in a startup, you might choose a different set of picture. But ultimately, the idea is to have a picture which looks professional. In my set of job, I'm in a consulting role, consulting business. Our role requires us to give validation, and if I am coming in a suit, my profile looks very, you know professional. It definitely adds value to my profile. Depending on the kind of role you have, you can put that picture, but make sure that it's professional in nature. That's the key thing. Number two, about picture, this banner picture is very, very important. If I have seen the uh, so basically, when somebody opens your profile, these are two areas on which your eyeballs gets hooked. At the very start, the first glance go to these two areas, then somebody will go down. But if there is no picture, there is no banner picture, there is less probability that people will be going and checking your profile. So let the eyeballs get hooked at these places, and you get a great chance to build your brand or to get validation right at the start. So why I have put a picture of PwC in the background? I'll give you my reason. There can be, other pictures depending on your profile, but I'll tell you my reason. I wanted to elevate my personal brand with PwC's brand in the market. Okay. This simply, combines together and gives a different set of experience, or I would say a remark in the mind of the viewer. Now you can put a picture the where you are receiving an award with an eminent personality. That will definitely add value to this area. You can put a picture which uh, where you have done something remarkable and you are being appreciated there, and you are, proud of it. So not exactly that, this area has to have picture of your brand or your company or organization or your firm, nothing like that. But ultimately it should add value to your entire profile. uh, so that is my reason, and accordingly utilize this space. Don't let this space, go dull. So bring life to this particular space, and automatically your profile will shine up. So that's about the banner picture. Get your headline right. Okay, this is my headline: helping businesses build intelligent automation. Okay, then I talk about my current firm, the tools, the This is the uh, I would say the technical skill which I possess, and this is what I do, consulting I do, strategy and speaker. Why I have written this particular sentence? I could have also written, digital transformation manager, PwC, and specific cut to cut things. But why I'm writing this in a sentence? Because I want, I do not want to keep buzzwords here, which actually makes my profile a little, I would say, I mean, if you keep the section here in a way where you're not utilizing the right where you're not telling exactly what you do, then it might be difficult for other people to understand it. If you are saying that I'm a cloud ninja, okay, I'm a, if you're using such words which are not giving a clear picture about what you do, if you're writing I'm a software engineer, but what exactly you are doing in that software, that needs to come out. Hence, this particular section is very important where you highlight what you do. Then you write specific things. So utilize this space really well. And do not use buzzwords here, because that might confuse people right at the start when they look at your profile. Let them come to these section, understand what you do, because these areas are primarily meant to write what you do. But this area should be very, very simple to understand. That's the key thing. Like, create a summary that stands out. Optimize your experience section. Now we can come. Now this is the experience section. Now you have to talk about what you do. What you are, a coder, you are a software engineer, you are a DevOps professional, you are, whatever you are doing, that exact roles and responsibility can come here. And not just roles and responsibility, you have to highlight what you have done, what impact you have created. That is something which should come out from this section. I have written that I have successfully project managed around this feasibility analysis for 60 plus processes. You must be seeing numbers here. Everywhere I have written what I have done, I have backed it up with numbers. 21 days long workshop. So this area is not just to write your roles and responsibility, but with your roles and responsibility, what impact you have created. Utilize this section. Number two, you have to involve right set of keywords in this entire section. If somebody is going to look out for a candidate like me for job, what they will do, they will put keywords in the LinkedIn search. So a recruiter section is different, the LinkedIn recruiter account is different, and they simply put right set of keywords to find out the right set of job seekers. So these keywords have a lot of value. This RPA keyword has a lot of value. This keyword has a lot of value. This keyword has a lot of value. So whatever keyword with which your profile gets highlighted, please include here. Chatbot has a lot of value. So that's why RPA, OCR, NLP, I have put all these keywords so that if somebody wants to hire me for a job, they can simply go through my profile and get a view what I do. I hope that is clear. Like keyword, like I already mentioned, that please optimize your profile with right sort of keyword. Show off your work. You have to show off, definitely. You have to tell what you do, what you have done, what impact you have created. So basically, you write what remarkable you have done here. So utilize this section really well. And there is one section for this about section. In this section, you have to give a snippet of your profile. Not in too much words, but in crisp word, you have to tell the world that what you do and who exactly you are. If you are making this profile very roles and responsibility oriented, this will not fly. Just a glimpse, just a small snippet of your work you have to highlight. Then you can also talk about other paradigms of your personality. Like I mentioned that I am a Toastmaster. I like working on delivering speeches. I like having meaningful discussions on personal finance, mental health, anything and everything which sets you apart from others and you think is a key area or a key dimension of your personality. You can write over here. Then you can, so this is primarily to give the audience or give the viewer a small background of yourself. I have written my number over here. I have written a channel with which they can connect with me. So I am actually trying to get in touch with folks who think that they can have a meaningful discussion with me, or we can have a camaraderie to work on a specific project or anything where I become more connectable to them. So that is how you may write your profile or the about section, and write it in the first person way, not in the third person way that hello, I am Anurag Upadhyay is the first person view. But I have seen a lot of people writing in that Anurag Upadhyay is a digital transformation consultant. He is working with PwC. He is working with this and that. His role involves. No, you have to write in a first person so that it give so that once somebody read, they get a view that I am talking to them. It's me who is telling what I do and what is about my profile. I hope this point is also clear. Include most, if not all, of your licenses and certification. Now, that is very important. These certifications give a validation to a lot of recruiters. Okay, if I am saying that I am a UiPath expert, so UiPath is a tool with which I do my RPA implementations. So you have to tell the world that with these certifications you hold a credibility. Wait a minute. This section. My internet is working fine. It's working fine. All right, no problem. I'll show you from here. So these certifications hold a lot of value. So, and this is something which you do every day. I mean, when you are in this professional world, you work on your skills, you learn something new, and you get certifications. So it's a great platform to showcase what you have done. So please add your certifications here, whatever you have done, so that it elevates your entire profile. And the recruiter thinks that you have done a commendable work since you're already certified in that skill. Okay, so use that thing. Fill in that skill section I have already talked about, and get some endorsement. Very, very important to get endorsed by people. The people are saying that this guy has done something great. This guy is a great marketing manager. This guy is actually good at sales. This guy is good at project management. Let other colleagues of you talk about your skills. So this is primarily word of mouth, and you may endorse people to get endorsed back. So this works in a way that you help someone and then somebody helps you. So there is no harm, to endorse each other. There is no harm around it. So ultimately, it's very important that you get the endorsement for the right set of keywords or the right set of skill for which you have made this section. Okay. I hope till now you are with me. Can I have your yes? Okay, no problem. Get some recommendations. Now, I mentioned about this section. This section is a very, very important section to add your score so that the algo puts you high on the rank. You have to work on this particular area, because this is something which is very, very important. And get recommendations from people who own credibility. I'm not saying getting recommendation from your friend is bad. I'm not saying that. But if you get recommendation from a right set of people who hold authority, so this guy is the CIO of a particular PSU in India. he's a Stanford University guy. He's a, the CIO. I worked with him. He helped me with an award. So towards the end of the project, I personally requested him to write a recommendation for me. And since he was very happy with my work, he gave good words for me. So whenever you're working on a project, any initiative, anything where you feel that the other person with whom you have worked closely understands your work, please ask them for recommendation and get this area filled. So this lady who has filled this recommendation recommendation for me is the Forbes 30 inspirational women and the first female stake pool operator on Cardano. She's into blockchain and she's the Forbes. She's listed in Forbes. So getting this recommendation from right set of people is very important. I'm not saying that go and ask anybody on LinkedIn and say, please write recommendation for me. People who know you, who have seen your work, get in touch with them and ask for recommendation. It's always good. It's recommended to have, recommendations from people who hold authority, who hold validation, who hold good, I would say good. I mean, they have more credits as compared to your profile. Add some interest. I have already added interest, so this is very important. This way people get to know that where you are, where you like to collaborate with people. These are my interest areas. So I have a part of all these job portals, these uh, others. So these are the groups where you can get added and improve your candidature, and definitely these groups will help you with the opportunities that you are looking for. So very, very important to network and collaborate with these groups. So leverage this section very much. Now, if you are looking for a job, if your prime role, a prime reason to work on your LinkedIn profile is to get new opportunities, you can utilize this section to say that you're open for job, open to finding a new job. So just open this particular section, make it active, and here you will find an opening for new opportunities. Open, ready to work, willing to work. I mean, this gets highlighted. If you're hiring, then utilize this section to get a display picture with hiring labeled around this picture. So these are some areas with which you can actually give a shout to the world that please help me with opportunities because I'm open to work. Okay, so utilize these areas. I already talked about this, write in the first person, use numbers and data to emphasize accomplishments, avoid typos, do not make typos in your LinkedIn, profile, use Grammarly if required, get that extension. And whenever you write something on LinkedIn, it will tell you that this is grammatically incorrect. You have to make it correct. So please make sure that there are no typos. Be relevant, be active, and network. So being relevant means you are actually connecting to right set of people. Whatever content you are creating on LinkedIn is actually relevant to your work. For example, if you have showcased yourself or positioned yourself as a digital transformation consultant, then you primarily talk around that. I'm not saying that you cannot talk about Shark Tank India, you cannot talk about other areas, but if I start talking about fashion designing a lot, I create content on fashion designing, that will not sum up with the exact profile which I have created. So you have to stay relevant with your comments, with your posts, or with your contribution to the world. I'm not saying that you cannot create content on other fields other than your job. I'm just saying that maintain that consistency so that it doesn't dilute the actual profile or the persona which you have created on LinkedIn. Be active. By being active, so I'll come to this section how to build network on LinkedIn on in the other sessions. By network, by being active, you first of all build a good network, then you get eyeballs on your content. People know that you are active on LinkedIn and they engage in your posts or whatever you have done. For example, if you have posted a picture with your certification, people will give congrats to you. Then you so that will actually tell the algo that this person is staying active, and your post will actually last longer. For example, if it was planned to die in one day, but if there are a lot of comments on your section, uh, a connection of yours can see that there is some thread going on in one of your posts, so people will come and check. So this is how LinkedIn algo works. So staying active is very, very important. And then network, definitely network to the right set of people. For example, if you are a job seeker, connect with the HRs for your dream company. For example, if you want to work for Accenture, for example, connect to the right set of HRs, the TAs, the leads, who work on sourcing the profile, who work on identifying the right set of people. So that is very important. So staying active on LinkedIn is one, and building the network with right set of people is very, very important. And you can network with other colleagues of yours also, you know with whom, I mean, for example, if you are looking for a job in Accenture, for example, or if you are looking for a job in CoCubes, there are a number of companies where for example, anywhere wherever you want. So just go and check what other people in that company are doing in your set of role which you are seeking. For example, you want to become a SEO specialist. You go to that company, you go to the people section and see who are these people who are working in that profile. You check their profile, you endorse them, you like their content. Then ultimately that person will observe that you are trying to build a connection. I'll talk about how to build connection, not in this lecture but in next lecture. But ultimately the idea is to get in touch with the right set of people, because ultimately they are the one who might help you with an opportunity. And with right set of keywords, your profile will come on the top when they are doing that research. So very, very important to network with the right set of people. Ultimately that is going to land up your job. So LinkedIn is a great platform to find jobs. I have personally got a lot of opportunities you know through LinkedIn. So very, very helpful and very, very effective. So that is all for today. So these sections primarily on tips and tricks and hacks. I will talk how exactly these tricks will help you. So do appear in my upcoming sessions. But for as of now, thank you to all of you. I'm open for questions. We have 8 minutes. I'm open for questions.
Thank you so much, Anurag. It was a really detailed explanation, and like I had many questions, but most of them are answered already in your presentation.
Wonderful.
So I will try to take few of the questions asked by the viewers. So he has asked that is it necessary to give skill assessment test on LinkedIn?
I'm not saying it is necessary, not saying it is necessary, but it will add value to your profile, because LinkedIn ultimately works on algo where LinkedIn want people to get hooked to their website. LinkedIn doesn't want people to go outside LinkedIn's website. And LinkedIn will definitely support people who are using LinkedIn a lot. Okay. For example, you are doing a course on DevOps, for example, but from outside, from Udemy or anywhere, that you can definitely add in your profile. But if you are doing a skill assessment, or if you are doing a course from LinkedIn, that LinkedIn will try to showcase to people and it will add value to your profile. So I'm not saying it's a must do thing, but if you are doing a course from outside, it's better that you do on LinkedIn and associate it with the profile. And
Okay,
LinkedIn learning is very, very important, and it has, I think, everything what you are looking for in terms of learning. So you can utilize this section.
definitely. Then Adarsh has asked that the students who don't have experience, who do not have a lot of experience, what should they mention in the highlight section?
Okay, students who don't have experience. See, if you don't have real-time corporate experience, that doesn't mean that you didn't have experience of working on projects. A project is not necessarily a corporate project. It can be any project. You might have worked in, if you're in engineering, whatever project you have worked. I worked on RFID project. So till the time I was not I was not having that experience, I used to write about my projects, or my you know small group assessments which I have done. Anything where you are collaborating with a team, you are building a deck, presentation, a report, a study, anything with which you can add value at this point of time, please mention that.
Definitely. Also, they are asking if we can link the presentation in the description box.
Yes, you can.
So,
No problem with
yes.
that.
So, guys, all of you who are asking, we will definitely give the link in the description box. So, don't worry about that. So, the last question that I'll be taking is how to find the right keywords for the profile.
Okay, good question. So there are a lot of websites also which can talk about finding right set of keywords, but I'll not go to that particular. So that's definitely the first way, and checking the right set of keywords for your profile. But ultimately, the tools on which you are working. For example, if you are a DevOps engineer, let's understand, then you might be working on some tools, Ansible, Jenkins. These are some set of keywords which are associated for your profile. Then frame them in a sentence in a way that you use all of those keywords. Okay, so that is one. And and put them in your about section if you can. You can keep it very crisp, but keep them in a way that it becomes a sentence and it highlights what you do using these tools. I'm not saying you will be able to put all these keywords, but keep them in a way that it makes sense. And to find right set of keywords, you can also check profiles of other people who are working in that role. For example, DevOps engineer, you write on LinkedIn and you write DevOps resume, for example. You will get to know what other peoples are using as a part of keywords. It's just about digging the internet to find right set of keyword. But otherwise, you know what you do as a part of your role and responsibility will also bring keywords. For example, I make BRDs, business requirement documentation. So BRD is a keyword in itself. So my roles and responsibility can pull out the right set of keyword.
Okay. So I guess we have already answered all the questions that were there in the comment section. So I think we can wrap up the webinar now. Thank you so much, Anurag. It was very detailed and insightful. Like I also got to learn a lot from your presentation. Thank you so
All
much.
right, super. So work on resumeworded.com, get your score, work on the recommendations, and with that, improve your score. Okay, come in the top 10%, top 5%. I'm not saying get the paid version. With the normal version only, you can value your profile. And number two, please fill all the sections the way I have demonstrated today. It's just about sitting for 2 hours and just remembering what you have done in your life and putting all of them digitally in this profile. That is it.
Definitely. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope all of you build a great LinkedIn profile after watching this session, and we will see you in the next webinar. Bye bye.
All right. See you guys. Bye bye.